These men come down here from New York and from Florida to find out my reasons on rock and roll music and why I preach against it, and I believe with all of my heart that it is a contributing factor to our juvenile delinquency of today. I 100% believe it. Why I believe that is because I know how it feels when you sing it. I know what it does to you. And I know the evil feeling that you feel when you sing it. I know the lost position that you get into in the beat. Well, if you talk to the average teenager of today and you ask them what it is about rock and roll music that they like, the first thing they'll say is the beat, the beat, the beat.
What's up, everybody? Hey, welcome to After Loadout here in the Brookstone studio, brought to you by Georgia Fire Hot Sauce, the Wallet Drum Key, and definitely they're still not on the Epstein list. Signal Fire Agency. I am one of your hosts, Bryan Harris. I am here with my main man, Josh Green. How we doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Dude, I'm good. Another week, you made it.
Another week.
More dumps came out, and you're not on it. Neither am I. Probably because we're too broke, but whatever.
Yeah, surviving,
baby.
Hey, that's not the only reason.
Well, yeah, no, that's true.
How's your week gone? We're recording this one a little later than normal in the week.
Yeah.
How's it going so far?
It's good, man. I'm tired. I've been working.
Gotcha.
I'm tired, and that's about it, man. I mean, it was good weekend.
Yeah. We so it was Valentine's.
It was
Saturday, but my girlfriend, she's a bartender at one of the busy bars downtown. I'm not going to say which one, but on Broadway here in Nashville. And if you know, you know. So Saturday, obviously money shift. She's not going to take it off. So we decided to do our Valentine's Day on Friday.
Yep.
And it was sort of last minute. About Thursday afternoon, we start trying to get dinner reservations at like a nice steakhouse. Hadn't been to King Prime in a while. Looked up everywhere, and it was either eat at 10 o'clock or sit at the bar. Like there was nothing even on Friday.
Yeah.
So we decided Dave & Buster's.
Yep.
And then you hit me up. What are y'all doing after dinner? I said, well, we're not going to dinner. We're going to Dave & Buster's. So then you and your girlfriend joined us.
Yep.
Had a nice little competition, double date, and let's see. You want to get into it?
Destroyed them, dude. Let's just go ahead and talk about it, dude. Both the girls were like, "Oh, we could." No, you can't. No, you can't. No, don't do it, because I think we tried to warn them too. I said, "Look."
They tried to liquor us up and
tried to bully us into it, and then we just like, all right, you know what? But no, it was fun because so there's a place in the Nations. It's really, really freaking cool.
Nations is a neighborhood here in Nashville.
The Nations is a neighborhood, and it's a place called the Urban Dog Bar, and it's super awesome. So we started there Friday. We took Penny there, and then we went and met up with one of my buddies. He bartends as well over in another place. Reunion over in East, and then I think that's when I called you. I was like, "Hey man, like, what are you guys doing?" And I didn't think my girlfriend was going to be all about it, but you were like, "We're going to Dave & Buster's, come," and I was like, let me talk to her, and she was, dude, all about
she was all about it.
So excited. So we ended up meeting up with y'all, and the competition had destroyed. I mean, dude, I don't even think
shirts versus blouses.
Yeah,
shirts won.
Yeah,
man, I gotta say I was disappointed in myself. I'd had a couple of shots by this point, but I was never an athlete anyways. I was a skater kid, and but I mean, we'd get out and throw the ball. But man, I sucked. I just couldn't dial in the ball throwing. As soon as we got to skee ball and air hockey,
dude, you crushed. I was very you kept talking about air hockey, and I was like, all right, but yeah.
Hey, let this be a challenge to all listeners out there. I will hand you your ass in air hockey.
Dude,
it's got to be a regulation dynamo table though, not one of these little cheap plastic ones.
But I'll be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say that you destroyed me. I kind of destroyed myself because I scored on myself about 4 times.
You scored on yourself twice.
Still, that's 2 points.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
I scored on you 5 times though.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, you made it easy.
Thank you
Are
so
you
much.
saying you want to go again?
Yes, absolutely. We're gonna do, dude. You know what? After loadout, Dave and Buster's air hockey tournament. Let's go.
Oh, dude, all the way in.
All the way in. And then after Dave and Buster's, we went and let Penny out because we hadn't been home for a little while. And then we went to a pool hall.
Yeah.
Is it Jobs or Jobs or what was it? What?
It's JOBs.
So it's Jobs.
Well, it's a guy's initials.
Oh.
So
Yeah, I've been telling people I went to Jobs. They're like, what is Jobs? And I'm
no,
like,
it's JOBs out in Madison.
yeah.
Real deal, old school, like opened in the early 70s pool hall. Good tables, but yeah, we stayed there long time.
Yeah.
Just had a good time shooting pool, listening to Them Dirty Roses were all on the jukebox. Played some Three Doors Down for Brad.
Yep. But no, that was fun. I mean, I think when we walked in, people like all those pool guys got scared. They were like, they look like they know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, I mean, Color of Money walked in, baby.
Cleared out.
Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah, they cleared out. Also, I want to give a shout out to my girlfriend because she got me this beautiful watch for Valentine's Day. I thought it was really sweet.
That is nice.
Yes, and let me tell you why she got this. Okay, I know like this is gonna, and I don't want this to be like a conspiracy thing, but this is just what happened to me. Okay,
Don't want to be a conspiracy thing, but let's
talk about it. Okay, so for a while, like I was wearing, should I even say what kind of watch it was?
It was an Apple Watch.
It was now okay. All right, look, I'm not going after Apple or anything because I don't want them to come after us.
Well, they're listening.
They're listening for sure. But
we're listening.
But so for a while, for probably 2 or 3 years, I wore an Apple Watch. Well, when I was playing drums, my left wrist, which I would always wear it on my left wrist, my left wrist would like right here on, if you can see, right here, and my wrist would start hurting. So
we're sure that's why his wrist hurt.
Yes, because of what I've kind of come up with and concocted in my brain is that these little watches put off radiation, and I know this is crazy, but so I haven't been wearing it for about a week. Don't give me the crickets because I'm telling you, I think this might be real. So if any musician is out there and you wear an Apple Watch and that wrist hurts when you play, I think that might be it. So I told my girlfriend this, and she got me this watch for Valentine's Day, which was really, really sweet. She surprised me with it. But so that's my Apple conspiracy, which I've completely concocted in my brain, and I don't know if it's true. But if it's happening,
by the way, Apple, I have all Mac gear, and if y'all want to sponsor, we can get rid of this guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, I've got an iPhone, but I'm telling you, for some reason, the past, I would say 2 years when I would play drums, that would hurt. So I've come up with that. So I'm going to try this out and I will report back in a month. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Maybe it's just I'm getting carpal tunnel and I'm getting old.
Yeah. I mean, either way, nice watch.
It is it's very nice.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, I got tired of all the notifications on my Apple Watch. So
you can turn those off.
Yeah, but the only thing I really, really liked about it was, how it would unlock my computer.
Yeah.
Like when I got close and things like that. And I didn't use the exercise feature.
Except when you're playing air hockey.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you really did it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No, but dude, I love my Apple Watch, but I did realize that like I would look at it way too much, man. Like it would buzz and I'd be like, what is it?
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
I don't know. My phone in my pocket, easier to ignore, but I'm just constantly. Maybe that's why your wrist was hurting. You're just constantly
doing this.
Yeah.
I don't know, but so I had to learn how to read time again because I've watched digital, and I'm still working on time.
Yeah. Dude, but yeah, Dave and Buster's was a blast, and it's been a minute. I haven't been to a casino since I don't know August. I went to the poker room.
Yeah.
But that's different. Anyone, if you know me, I love casinos.
I do too.
Like love them.
We should go.
Oh, 100%.
Let's go. I don't know, maybe next week. We should do.
We'll see.
We could set up at a poker table and do this.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's nothing really close here. Like the one in Franklin sucks. It's all slots, and the poker rooms, miles down the road. There's no real casino. The closest one would be. I mean, they're all about the same distance. Southern Indiana, Cherokee, and Tunica.
Yeah, Tunica. I heard are they building one here? Is that
No?
You don't think so?
Nah.
Why, dude? Dude, it would be awesome if they did the Hard Rock.
Yeah,
I heard that at one time, and I was like, "This is gonna be awesome."
I mean, people always talk about it, but like, it you really don't want that in your direct vicinity. I wish there was one a little closer, but like, you don't, dude. If there's one here, man, I would be.
You would live there. They'd be like, "Hey, Josh, good to see you again."
I don't need a house.
Tuesday.
I don't need a house. I got a comped room.
Oh, dude.
But yeah, get to the point. Like, Dave and Buster's walking in. I'm like, all right, this is almost like a casino.
Dude, those lights. I'll tell you what it is, those lights. And I bet Dave and Buster's does the same thing that casinos do where they pump oxygen in, which is such a smart thing. You know they do that, right?
I've heard that to keep you awake.
Yes.
And
because if you ever notice like you're tired when you walk into a casino, and I mean, dude, right when you get to the tables or whatever, you're like, I'm awake. It's because they pump oxygen in.
Dude, when I'm in Vegas, like, I don't sleep for a couple of days.
Because they're pumping oxygen. My brother, dude, he had a great idea, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, and this was years ago, but he was like, dude, why don't they do that in gyms? I'm like, that's a great idea. Pump oxygen in there because, I mean, it makes you more awake. You would probably, I don't know, work out harder. I don't know. But I was like, that's a great idea. So,
yeah.
Man, sorry if I just ruined my brother's, invention.
Yeah, man. But yeah, Dave and Buster's, pool hall, fun Valentine's Day. Had a blast.
It was great to spend Valentine's
Realized
with you, Josh.
something about you. We've talked before about your how you don't really swear.
I don't.
Oh, man.
Josh, I don't. Because my mom listens. Josh, don't do. Josh, stop. Because my mom. Stop.
What did you say about your mom?
I love my. No, because all the time she's like, you need to tell that Josh Green to watch his
Watch my what?
your mouth, dude. Because all the time Josh is like, and he talks like this off the podcast. So, Mom, I just want to say that I no. Take the board away from him. The producer, take the away from him because this is just bull crap. I said crap.
Yeah. Sorry, I've been having fun with that.
I think he just realized that he's got that. So, my mom's gonna watch this and be like, "I am so disappointed."
All right, I'll stop.
Man, I'm gonna tell her to skip this episode.
Yeah, dude, watch your mouth.
I'm so sorry. It's my bad.
Damn. Let's see what else we got to get in. Oh, did you see this? So, after the two halftime shows, Zach Bryan he tweeted. I know you're not the biggest fan in the world. I love Zach Bryan, but he tweeted. He called one of the halftime shows, and I'll just say it was the halftime show without Bad Bunny.
Yeah. It's very similar vibes, I would say.
He called it embarrassing, and then went on TikTok and made a little song that was mocking Brantley Gilbert and Colt Ford, co-write Jason Aldean. Mega hit. I would call it an American classic.
Bro, Dirt Road Anthem. Wait, who's the guy with him, by the way?
He's this Instagram dude, Harley something, but he's funny as hell.
Yeah, dude, this is, I saw some, yeah.
Chili on a hot dog. I'm talking about
Chili on a hot dog.
Motherfucking chili on a hot dog. I'm double fisting chili on a hot dog. Get yourself a couple dogs, your dogs in the truck. Load them all with cheese and fill them up. Meat and corn and cheese. All beef dogs, ladies, please.
We don't eat Chicago cause we don't eat no tomato. And the only salad we eat, it is made out of potato.
definitely salad weeds made out of potato.
Dude, I will say this. I think it's funny.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It's hilarious. Like, dude, I can't imagine writing, because, I think Colt Ford was one of the co-writers, right?
Him and Brantley wrote it, yeah.
Dude, they made so much money off of that song. And dude, let's be honest, that song, like, it's not good. That song sucks, man. Like, it's such, I feel like that was the spawn of like bro country.
It was definitely an influence.
I think it's fun. Like, his little videos.
We'll be out with Brantley in a few weeks. I think Brantley's cool, but
no, I think it's cool, but still. Like,
and he made a really funny Facebook post in response. He just had that video playing, and he had him a couple of footlongs from Sonic, and he's pouring chili on a hot dog, and then like he's doing everything in the song, like gets it on his shirt, like chili on my pants, chili on my shirt.
Well, dude, like that's the thing. If you can have a good sense of humor about it, you know what I mean. Like, he
says Zach Bryan could climb any fence he wants.
I saw that.
He's not getting my chili dogs.
Well, dude, I remember who was it? It was Gavin Adcock and Zach Bryan's beef and stuff like that. I feel like that's what kind of like that's what's that's the thing now. Is just have beef. It's kind of like the early rap days when people would have like beef with each other, and it's beef hot dogs. Do you get it? Do you get it?
Yeah. Oh, kosher.
I know that's kosher.
Well, I think Gavin was, and I don't know if it's part of his plan or what, but he was beefing with everybody.
It worked.
Like, I mean, he was already growing, but Zach Bryan got the upper hand when Luke Combs canceled on the Madden Bowl concert right before the Super Bowl. It was literally the Friday before the Super Bowl.
Well, I think he did that because his wife was had to have a baby.
Yeah, Luke had to cancel because he didn't want to potentially miss the birth of his child.
Which is kind of selfish if you think about it. Like, you're going to have more of them, dude. I think you have kids anyway. Yeah. No, dude, like...
Really, dude? Well, Zach Bryan stepped in. So now Zach's the headliner, making Gavin open for him.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I wonder if they were like cool. Like, it's gotta be like a UFC
I don't know.
thing, right?
No,
like,
I don't think they like each other.
Really?
And I didn't see any pictures of them together. Gavin already ran and hid once at Born and Raised. Once he landed on the other side of that fence. I don't know, man. But
who do you think would win in a fight?
Zach.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know. Gavin's a pretty big dude. I think if he got him to the ground, he could hold him because he played football. So I think he could maybe tackle him.
Yeah, but he wasn't that good.
Was he not?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Obviously not. He's not in the pros.
Yeah.
I mean, he's better than us. I mean,
but he's also like a rich kid that just talks shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like his music. I like his music. I shouldn't be a hater. But I'm from Georgia. I've seen a million kids just like him.
Yeah.
And he's a little cocky, which I kind of like. I'm not going to say I dislike it. But once it was in his face, he backed down. I will say this. He also started with Charlie Crockett. Charlie's my boy. Known him since 2016, probably.
Yeah.
Watch out, man.
No,
Charlie won't, I don't know about Zach. I know Zach was in the military. He's just stocky, but Charlie rode the subways in New York, right? And squatted and stuff. Like, he's the real deal, man. Like,
well, I like how Charlie came out and he's like, what did I do? Like, you know what I mean? I think people are catching strays and they're like, what?
No, his beef was before Zach's.
Well, here's the thing, Gavin. You know what, Gavin? We can talk crap about him, and then he could come back at us. You know what, Gavin? No, I don't know the guy. I don't know Zach Bryan. But I will say this: I think Something in the Orange. I like that song.
Mm-hmm.
The problem I have with Zach Bryan. This is truly why I've never. Because I've listened to this stuff, but the way he plays guitar and sings, like his rhythm on his guitar and how I think he's got a good voice, and I think he's got some good lyrics.
I like his. I love his songwriting.
That's the only problem I've ever had with Zach Bryan. Like I said, I don't know the dude. I don't hate his music. He's not you know what I mean. But to me, being a rhythm guy, I'm a drummer. So when I hear people play guitar and sing, and it's always just throwing me off a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, like, dude, I don't hate any of them, dude. Like
Either
I
way,
said.
I just think it was funny.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious.
And
Like,
yeah, it's a funny clip. Hey,
Hey, y'all.
move along because press for time here.
Yeah.
I do want to dive into the bracket real quick.
let's do it.
We're all filled up, kinda, and let's start with.
Flannel shirts and scratched up discs. One big song we still can't quit.
When are you gonna put that on iTunes, dude?
I need to.
Speaking of Apple, let's put that on iTunes, man. Like, that's a banger, dude.
Does iTunes still exist?
Yeah, iTunes is big, and Spotify.
Well, yeah. Well, Apple Music. I don't know if iTunes, like the store, still exists. Does it? I'm sure
maybe.
it does. Yeah, there's got to be.
Did I just date myself with that? Like, dude, you should put that on MySpace.
Yeah, maybe you get that on Napster, dude.
Shazam.
So gotta actually got the same. You know, we were down to one bracket spot
Yep.
after adding Bittersweet Symphony
Yep.
and Lynn Steal My Sunshine last time. So got a few submissions, and most of it was stuff we've already discussed. But then I got the same submission twice, which qualified ish, meaning I don't know if it's alt rock, but Joan Osborne, One of Us.
Oh yeah.
So technically we've got 16 songs.
Okay.
I'd like for the everyone to still submit because I'm not sold on Steal My Sunshine or Joan Osborne being alt rock. Even though they qualify as a one-hit wonder, I don't think they're alt rock. I think they're pop songs.
Also, I don't know if it's that strong, man. You're going up against other ones that are like really, you know what I mean? Like
we've got till March to like lock this thing
Yeah.
in. I would just like to see some more submissions that qualify, and let's get the strongest of the strong in this bracket. So
Yeah, we don't want to be like the college football playoffs. Like I want the
No.
best in there,
Yeah,
man.
we want them dogs in there.
Yeah, I don't know. We never want them in. Never want the dogs in or Alabama. Anyway,
We don't want the War Tigers. We want them dogs.
First off, Walter, you know what, Josh? I hope we destroy. No. I just hope that. Anyways, we'll talk about that because I don't know. Football season's only a couple months away.
Yeah, let's get through baseball first.
I know. I'm so excited. We got what? We got 3 more days and spring training starts.
Yeah,
Just throwing it out there. But anyways, back to the bracket. My bad.
Yeah, so just I'll put up on the screen, but you could check out the bracket.afterloadout.com. I'll put up the phone number and email and all that stuff, and there's submission form on the website.
Yeah, we'll put that on like Facebook and
Yeah.
we'll
Let's
do
just get the
Instagram.
strongest of the strong, even though, let's look at some other ones, man. I just think we can do better than those.
Yeah, I agree.
So last week, NIVA. Do you know what NIVA is?
I know the name. You'll have to explain it.
It's the National Independent Venue Association.
That is right. Yes.
So independently owned venues come together. It started during COVID when everyone needed to band together just to survive.
Now, real quick, would that be like the Shed? Is the Shed considered? NIVA?
I don't know if they're a member of NIVA, but it is independently owned. It's not owned by
Like Live
Nation,
Yeah,
AEG, any of the majors. It's 100%, but
So yeah, it's 100% owned.
operated.
Cool.
Yeah.
I get
I
what
mean,
you got.
I guess I don't know what their guidelines are as far as do they allow Live Nation shows in and stuff, but independently owned venues. The people on the ground floor, the venues where you can see your favorite band before they're in an amphitheater
Right.
or anything. So every year they put out what's called the NIVA Live List. And it's the up and coming bands that are starting to move some tickets, starting to just a pay attention to list.
Right.
And that came out, and there's been some really good ones. It's a massive list. We can't go through it all. I'll post it on the screen and link it in the description. But like Taylor Honeycutt was on it last year. I think the Vandaliers have been on it before. Forget who else.
I think we've made that list.
You have?
Yeah, I think it was years ago, but I think we did make the.
I think they started in 2021 or probably 2022 ish. Like it was post COVID because NIVA didn't exist.
Well, dude, also when you say a couple years ago now, that like
Yeah, I mean, it's
2022 was, like,
2026.
4 years ago.
Speaking of which, 2026, man. Let me take off my hat for a second.
What you got?
Today is the 25th anniversary of the death of the Intimidator. So raise hell, praise Dale, y'all.
Oh, is today? Is it 25?
Yeah, 25 years. Man.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, a couple of years, and I got another one
Yeah.
right here. Just put it up front. Yeah, looks like a dare. So Dale ain't gone. He's just a lap ahead.
You're gonna have to explain racing to me one day because I would love to go to.
So you're not a big racist?
What's your least favorite race, Josh? The Daytona 500 for me. No, dude, honestly, like, I want to go to Talladega one year.
Yeah, I do too, man.
Because I've
never been to a NASCAR race.
Dude, we got to do it right.
I'll explain it to you, man. So these cars,
I know
it's
the
not-
idea.
It's not a circle. Most of them are an oval.
Yes, thank you so much.
And they go around it, and the car in front wins.
Oh, okay. Is that how that happens?
Pretty complicated,
Dude, I understand. I've
actually now that they have the like brackets and legs or whatever they call them, like it is a little. Just let them race.
Yeah.
But back to NIVA, want to mention a few that are on there. Just I think are really solid acts. I'm happy to see them on here. I don't know what they're moving ticket wise, but they will be something. Bo Stalick is great. Cat Clyde's on there. Let's see, Eddie 9-Volt. Been hearing about him a lot. Haywire.
We played with him, by the way. He's fantastic.
Haywire 617, man. Not my biggest. I don't know. I really dig him. I like a little more heavier traditional Boston hardcore, but it's really cool to see that kind of music come back.
Yeah.
Like maybe punk's making a comeback in hardcore. Hey, Nothing's on there. Improvement Movement. They are killer, and shout out to my boy. I haven't talked to him in years, but old friend Marshall Ruffin, who is probably the single most talented person I've ever met in my life. I'll turn you on to him, but he's in Improvement Movement.
Nice.
Solid band.
Great name. I like that.
Yeah, out of Atlanta. And some of your boys are on here. A couple of them.
Who you got?
Mo Lauda and the Humble.
Love those guys.
I know they're starting to move some real tickets, or have been for a couple of years.
Great dudes. We've been on the same agency for years.
Yeah.
Love those guys.
And the Stews.
Yep, love the Stews, man. Those guys are out of Auburn.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think we were one of the first bands to actually like take them on the road, and dude, they were really really green. They're great dudes, man. It was funny, man. This is kind of a funny story. I remember Blake. He's the guitar player, and we were hanging out after the show. And this was like probably four or five shows into the run or whatever. And he goes, "Dude, I'm a big fan of you guys, man. My dad showed me you guys in 8th grade." And I was like, Blake, don't ever say that again. I was like, we're friends now. Don't date me there, man. But like, nah, great dudes. Congratulations to everybody on that list, because that's a big thing, man.
There's a bunch of bands on there.
Where can you find it?
Spin Magazine
Nice.
is actually premieres it every month, or every year, but it's on the NIVA website.
Nice.
Just Google NIVA NIVA Live List.
Well,
And you will find it.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Like, if you're listening to this podcast and stuff, go check out these bands, because I always hate when somebody's like, "Man, I really wish I would have seen this band back in the day."
Yeah,
do you know how
check it.
hard it is to get to that level?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And also, if you love a band, the one comment that you'll get on like Facebook and all this stuff is, "I didn't even know you guys were going to be here." Especially like the next day when somebody's like, "When are you coming back to Chicago?" Or whatever. It was like, we were there last night.
That's the thing is, as people are lazy, and it's easy to know whenever, because of the marketing money behind it, when there's commercials, whenever a huge stadium act is coming to town.
Radio and so, yeah.
Yeah, but like you gotta be proactive,
Yeah.
and not be lazy, and look up, and this independent venue like pipeline, it's what feeds that ecosystem.
Yeah.
So like these people, I as an agent, like I'm representing no one on this year's list, but I have in the past, but like acts contemporaries is like for the most part, and that's my passion is developing acts to build a sustainable touring business. We need fans. We need y'all to not be lazy and to discover what might be your next favorite act.
Right.
And go see them in these small, and you're going to enjoy it more. Yeah, there won't be fireworks and crazy promotion or production like you'll see at Taylor Swift, but man, if you want to see a good band.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've seen Pearl Jam a few times. I'm not one of those guys that's seen them 30 times, but I remember I went last year, took my girlfriend to see him for the first time. And, they're playing 2 nights in a completely packed, sold out arena.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have crazy production.
Mm-mm.
Like they've got a big video wall behind them or projector wall. But essentially, they're playing like a bar band just to a massive crowd, and the crowd's eating it up. So that's what you experience, just good music, and that makes you excited. And it's not the production, the theatrics of it all. It's just the music.
Yeah, no, and here's the thing too, and I always tell people this: if you have like a venue that you go see music, even if you don't know the artist, just go, man. Pay the $5. Go see a band because you don't know if you might fall in love with that. You know what I mean? Also on that list, did I make it as a DJ, the McCullough kid?
No, not this year. Too big.
Oh, that's true.
Too big.
Yeah, I'm doing my stadium tour next year. So, you know what? Maybe I could open up for Gavin Adcock.
Yeah.
Or Zach Bryan. Guys, if you need a 90s country DJ, gotcha.
Who was the first act you said? Sorry.
Gavin.
What was it?
It was Gavin. Josh.
Yeah.
It was Gavin.
Just say his name.
Gavin. I'm going to... Gavin. You're getting quicker with that. I'm proud of you.
Gagging on.
Anyways, I'll open up for them. So let me know.
All right. Well, it's time. I'm really excited about today's interview. He's been all over the news lately. Kevin Couch, he was the senior vice president of, I think, artistic direction or something at the now newly named Trump Kennedy Center. Mm-hmm. On top of that, he's a talent buyer, heavy focus in the PAC world, performing arts centers and theaters. And he's also a artist manager. So let's get him on. Let's go, Kevin. All right, got Kevin Couch on here, man.
Welcome to the show, Kevin. Thanks for coming on,
Whoa.
Man. How's it going,
Thanks
dude?
for
I
having
appreciate
me.
you coming on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Dude, so you've been in the news a little bit lately, but I want to focus on more like your career and your trajectory. What got you into entertainment? And tell us just what it is you do exactly, because you kind of have your hands in multiple things.
Yeah. I currently got my hands in a couple different pots. I have Couch Entertainment. It's an artist management company. I represent the 90s group Color Me Bad. I represent the Joe Stam Band, which we're in business with him together on that.
Yeah.
He's my most recent signing. And then I have another cat out of Texas named Henry Merchant that I'm working with. So that's the Couch Entertainment bubble. And then my day job, I'm the VP for ATG Entertainment. So I book their rooms in San Antonio, the Majestic Theater, Empire Theater, the ESPY, and then some of our presenting markets like Tulsa, Little Rock, and Springfield, Missouri. So buying a lot of shows
Gotcha.
these
Now,
days. And managing.
is that
Yeah.
more music or is it like PAC world or both?
Yeah, so It's both. I mean, so it's anything. Our team kind of handles anything that's non-touring theatrical. We have a team out of New York that does that. So
Gotcha.
I'm buying a ton of music, ton of comedy, and then kind of your random ballets and things that come into those markets.
That's what Brian's really big into is the ballet.
I love, yeah, it's my favorite. Dude, I wanted to be a ribbon dancer when I was younger. I'd love to do it. Bring me on. I'll do it.
I could see it. I could see it. Josh doing ballet, not so much, but
Yeah, maybe not me, but you got it.
I got this, man.
um, so what got you into this world? What's your career? How'd you get in? Did you start playing and then find this level or?
yeah, man, being from North Texas, I think a lot of people that are my age probably have a similar trajectory. It all started back in the good old church bands. Um, we grew, yeah, I think I was probably 7 or 8 when I started going to this AG church in Denison, Texas called Trinity Lighthouse, and we had a pretty active like youth band, and it was incredibly competitive. And I remember my mom got me a drum kit, and I'm like, I guess I've always been a competitor, and I was like, I'm gonna be in this youth band, and so I just started banging out drums, and that's where it all started, man. Just trying to etch out another guy to get the spot in the youth band, and I don't know, man. I've talked to a lot of guys from Texas and even Nashville. I mean, I feel like a lot of us had the same trajectory. I mean, we all started in church bands,
I mean, a
and
lot of,
that's kind of where I
especially,
cut my teeth.
yeah, I think in Texas and in the South, it seems like a lot of people. I don't know, it might be everywhere, but I'm from Georgia. Seems like everybody got started in church bands. He played drums.
Yep.
Is that your brother?
I grew up. I grew up playing in the church. I think everybody from really the South and just really, I mean, that's kind of how you kind of get started, man.
Well, like, and when you think about it, like, it kind of makes sense because like you're getting stage training like at an
Yeah.
incredibly young age, and you're like learning how to like screw up on stage and not have that translate to the audience, and you're very valuable stuff that people will go to Nashville and pay lots of money for stage training. I'm like, man, just go to the play a couple of Sundays and figure it out.
So after
Um,
the
but
the church, or you got started in the church, just stay with it, high school bands and all that, and
Yeah. Yeah, our course is kind of interesting. So this is probably back to early 2000s, right? So, if you go back into that time, that era of music, this is like when Switchfoot was like crossing over from Christian, CCM to mainstream. That was kind of the era of bands I was in. I remember distinctly, I think I was 12 years old, and I remember we just got our first like dial-up home computer, and there were these clubs in Dallas. There was this club called The Door. Russell Hobbs had this place down there, and it was like a CCM like Christian club in Deep Ellum, like in the middle of the district in Dallas. And I remember being 12 years old, and I emailed him, and we showed up to the gig, and we're like 12 and 13-year-old kids, and he's
Mhm.
like, whoa, he's like, I did not realize I booked a freaking teenager band. And I'm like, yeah, man, we're here. And we brought, I remember we brought a crowd from our church out with us, and I mean, I was like legit booking club shows at 12 and 13 years old. I remember there was one in North Texas that we showed up to. We weren't even old enough to get in the club. And I
Oh
remember being
wow.
like, dude, hey, I'm like, you booked us, you're gonna pay us, or I don't, I mean, we've got a contractual issue here. I remember being 13 years old and going through like, yeah, y'all are the ones who booked us, so we're here to play. So either you're gonna pay us and we'll play, or you can pay us and we not play. So just hustling at 13 years old. And then from there, like what really was cool about like the town I grew up in, there were a couple of churches that started doing these like metalcore shows in their
That was
basement.
big in my town. Like the churches doing the punk and metal core shows
Yep.
and trying to get the youth in that way. But it was also the only like all age venues we could go to.
Totally. And so that was really cool because I got to start. That's where like my promoter hat kind of started getting put
Hmm.
on because like when my bands weren't playing or whatever, I was like booking all these local and regional metalcore bands. And I remember one time. This is a little bit later, like in my high school days, but I remember we booked Boys Like Girls and A Thorn for Every Heart for like $150 and two pizzas. I like in that, and fast forward 2 years later, Boys Like Girls are like one of the biggest bands in the country. And so that's kind of where I got my start. I was just always around it. I loved the music industry. I always played drums, but I also loved the business side of it.
Yeah.
And just kind of, I mean, I fell in love early, like 12, 13 years old, and just couldn't get enough of it.
See, that's crazy to me, but it's awesome. I didn't I couldn't play. My dad was a player and bought me guitars and everything. So I grew up loving music. Like my first concert, I was in second grade and it was Pantera and Skid Row. And
Jeez.
my dad did lights.
Heck yeah.
My uncle stayed on tour till the early 2000s and met his wife in England on tour, I think with Rod Stewart or someone. He was Triumph's lighting director in the 80s. So I grew up around music and loved it, but I just didn't have the talent to play. Just like couldn't wrap my head around it. So it sucked. Like I knew I wanted to do something in music, but it wasn't until way later that I figured out how to get into it. Like the business side. Like it was just, I didn't know what an agent was. I knew there was somebody promoting the shows, but like, how do you get that? I just assumed it was like be friends with the artist. And
Yeah.
finally met a guy who was like local, but had some success that I was a big fan of, and
Thank you very much.
and told me like some of these business roles, and I was like, all right. And then I became a student of it. But dude, I was in my 20s.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I just go like I go back. There were so many cool resources that we had back then that I mean, again, I don't know. Like I look around me right now, I don't see a lot of 12 and 13-year-old kids running around booking shows. So
Yeah.
I'm sure I was a pretty weird standout kid in that regard because like who the hell is this kid? But man, there was a cool thing. Like I remember being like 14 or 15 and there was this manager out of Nashville who I think is still based in Nashville. I think he may be a pastor now or something, but he managed this band called Cutlass. They were a huge touring Christian band. His
Hmm.
name was Darren Tyler. Maybe some of your listeners know Darren Tyler, but Darren had a management company, and he was doing these things at these churches called the indie band camps, and he would travel around to these like kind of hot Christian markets, and he would like teach indie bands like this is what I'm doing as a manager and this is what you need to go do. I remember going to like weekend stuff and like just soaking it up, and like I don't know, man, it's kind of a bummer because you just don't see a whole lot of that mentorship opportunity and like that camaraderie for like the next. I don't know. I just maybe it is there and I'm just not aware of it. But I just remember like we had really great resources and people putting on indie band camps, and there was like this little network of stuff happening
Yeah.
for the longest time. And I don't know. I guess maybe it got too commercial or something and didn't. It's not happening anymore, or maybe it's happened. I don't know.
I agree with you. I feel like there's a certain gatekeeping aspect of the industry that like keeps people out now. And maybe kids aren't as entrepreneurial as they once were. Cause like I've heard other interviews with promoters and other people in the industry that like did their first show at 14, 15, especially buying like punk rock shows. And
Yep.
you'd hear somebody doing like a Black Flag show or something when they were 15 and hanging up, actual posters on built light poles
Yeah.
and stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean that's definitely an
Man,
art form that's been lost, man. Like go to Office Depot and print out 100 CD. You know what I mean? Like they'll pass them out on cars, man. People just don't do that anymore.
dude,
It's crazy.
one of the coolest stories from like the time frame, like when I was doing like these church shows and promoting. I remember there was this band. They're now called Kublai Khan, which are they're
Yeah, yeah,
huge
yeah.
touring band. they're from my home turf and the shows that I used to do. I forget their name back in the day, but they went on to be Kubla Khan, and I think it's three of the original guys that used to play my shows. But I remember we had them running around. I mean, these guys are like 14 at the time, 15. I mean, in early high school. And it's just cool because I remember we were doing all these shows. I would do shows every single weekend at this church called Joshua's Crossing, and we called the venue the Crossing. And we had
Not
Ivory
affiliated.
Line. That's right. We had Ivory Line, Kid Liberty. One of the coolest shows I did was Carnifex and With Blood Comes Cleansing, and we were in a church, and and it was like
Yeah.
deathcore band in this church. But
They
the
just
church is
wanted the
really cool.
kids
But
in
yeah, I mean,
there,
like.
man.
That's right. And they didn't man like so we would have shows on Saturday nights and then we would like flip the room and turn it back in like set up the chairs for church the next morning. I mean, it was the craziest thing. We used to we couldn't sell alcohol, so we were selling Monster energy drinks, like crazy. But it is cool because one of those bands from our shows, I mean, they went on and never stopped. I mean, Kubla Khan, I just saw him in Dallas at the Bomb Factory, freaking sold out, close to 5,000 people in there. It was crazy, man. I mean, it was like, it's just so cool to see those guys just never stop, and I've also never stopped in one regard as well. I kept going, but it's just cool to
Yeah.
see, friends that keep it going and keep it rolling.
So you're doing that, I guess, all through the school years, and then keep going through college. Like, when do you first like
Man, I was in band.
professional?
Yeah, I mean the first. I think my first. Yeah, I mean I always. I was independent all the way through college. I think probably the first real band. I mean, I would pick up gigs on tours. I did a couple Warp tours where I was out playing drums for different groups. Um, so I'd pick up. I
So
was
you're
a
doing the
just a
sideman
pickup
thing for a
drummer.
while.
Hmm Did that for a long time, and then I think probably in my early 20s, I joined this band in Chicago called The Canes with a friend of mine from North Texas, Taylor Phelan. That was probably like my real first band, and I'll never forget it. I
Hmm.
mean, we were in Chicago, which is a pretty hard market for a couple of Texas boys to break a band. And Taylor had lived there for a couple of years before I came up there, and we played our first show at Double Door, and I want to say Nate Arling or Phil Kosh booked that show for us. And
Oh,
whenever they were at the Double Door, I think it was Nate. I think Phil was at the Live Nation room at that time. But I just remember those two guys because I've run across them over the years. And I'm like, man, I'll never forget that Chicago show. But we played our first show at the Double Door, opening for Barcelona, and like did 600 tickets or something like that. Our very first show in Chicago. We went on. We got a development deal. Toured as the Canes, as every band does. We broke up. Drama inside of bands. I always joke and say bands are designed to break up.
Jody
Unfortunately,
quit, Johnny got married.
but yep. Um, so yeah, I think the Canes was my real first like foray into like the greater side, like the commercial
Yeah.
side of the industry on a higher level. Um, and so that's where it started. And then somewhere in there, I started an advertising company because I learned how to do graphic design while I was out being a road dog and just jumping from tour to tour, playing drums. Started an advertising agency, started doing shows with that. Had some music clients, had some whiskey companies, and a couple of breweries that we worked for. Um, and so I just kind of always simultaneously had like this booking, business, show business, promoter business, and my ad agency, and I was playing drums probably all throughout my 20s. And then around 2018 is when I met the Color Me Bad guys through a mutual friend in Nashville who's an attorney, and started managing them back in 2018 or so. And then somewhere around right after the pandemic, I sold the advertising company, and that's when I jumped over to ATG. And started doing the more commercial programming, talent buying stuff for San Antonio, Tulsa, Little Rock, Springfield.
So before ATG, then you had just been an independent promoter, just shows where you could put them.
Yeah, ATG was my first job really ever working for someone else. Like really. Um, I'd always done everything 100% independently prior to that.
Who were some of the shows, like memorable shows that you've booked since your time at ATG,
Oh man,
or not just
I think one of my
or theatrical thing, whatever performance.
I think like it all like what really got me stoked. I mean, the most memorable is like I remember whenever I first booked just because of who it is. Like I in 2024 I booked Diana Ross,
Oh,
and
cool.
I was just like, I was like, holy crap, man! This 13-year-old kid, in Texas, North Texas, went from booking Carnifex and Boys Like Girls to I just booked Diana Ross. I remember that moment. I was like, when I was signing the contract, I was like, this is crazy. And
Yeah.
then another memorable one was we had Carlos Santana in San Antonio last year, and he actually got very sick during sound check, and we had to cancel the show. He is returning at the end of this or at the end of next month to play off the show, but that was I mean. I booked Carlos Santana, and then we had to go through getting him out of the venue because he was sick and into an ambulance and all the stuff that
Oh
goes with
man.
that. I mean, it was just like, man, like this is crazy. Like we're like I'm doing the damn thing,
Yeah.
like this is
Wasn't just
this
like a
is this is
cough. Like
real,
it sounds serious.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Santana and
Yeah.
San Antonio, that's gonna be a huge one, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, it's pretty close to sold out. Gross is nice. I mean, it's it's a makeup show for the one last year, and I mean, yeah, it's I mean, there's not too many times you get to see Santana in a 2,200 seat theater. It's a pretty intimate show.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm pretty stoked about it. Yeah, I mean, there's been so many. I mean, we've got in March we got Santana, we've got Styx, we have Chicago just about every year. I mean, some of these artists are like the soundtracks to what I used to like learn how to play drums to. ZZ Top. It's just so cool to be. It's just so cool to be like getting to work with their teams and pull the shows off.
That's awesome. So, how do you separate the talent buying and the management without it being a conflict of interest? Like, you can't just plug your, Color Me Bad into all your rooms. You
Right.
gotta separate the
Right.
two.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty I don't know, man. I've talked to enough guys now that I thought I was probably an anomaly, but like the more I've talked, one of my colleagues at ATG, he's also a manager. My buddy Eric. I mean, it's pretty natural. I mean, our
Yeah.
business for managing our clients is. I mean, it's exactly that. I mean, there's been a couple of shows. We had Color Me Bad on a 98 Degree show back in November of this year because there was a issue with one of the other support artists. Like it's like there is some crossover, but it's largely pretty light. Most of the business for my acts are in a package situation, so the conflict's not really there.
Yeah.
Because you as a promoter, if you're buying an I Love the '90s tour, I mean, that's what you're buying the package. So I don't know. It seems the separation is actually pretty natural, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Management's something that I've toyed with the idea of getting into, but being an agent and a manager, I do see the conflict, especially if it's the same client, which I would try to steer away from because I think those checks and balances are necessary to keep everyone on their toes and performing. It's
Yeah.
for the benefit of the
Well, yeah.
artist. So
But I think you could definitely do it right, though. You know what I mean? It has to be done right.
I've seen people do it,
Yeah.
and usually it
can backfire for
it
sure.
can backfire.
Absolutely.
But not, I guess, not from talent buying to management. That's different
Right.
as long as you're not taking advantage of the situation.
Right, right. Which, yeah, which, which I guess if you had large enough clients and you were buying talent, then yeah, you could probably run into a pretty swift, pretty
Yeah,
swift conflict. But most of the acts I'm representing are, either like Joe, who are Joe and Henry are emerging talent. Color Me
right.
Bad's more of that heritage act thing. They're usually packaged up. So yeah, I don't know. The worlds don't cross over a ton in that regard, but I guess if you had large enough clients, if I was managing Chicago, I'd have quite a big, quite a big conflict, I guess. Um, but yeah, no, for my business, I mean, it's pretty easy to separate, and then, man, I'll tell you, from management to agents, I mean, like as a manager, like once I hit about three or four acts, I'm about tapped out on what I can handle because I'm interfacing with the artist on literally everything.
Right.
Whereas like an agent, like agents can have up to 100 clients sometimes if they have the right infrastructure,
Yeah.
So
I
it's
mean,
just,
I couldn't handle 100 clients since I'm a one man shop now. But yeah, if you've got agents under you and it's not 100
right.
that are actively touring, like 100 country artists that are working year round, like that would be a lot. But
I couldn't
yeah,
imagine.
yeah,
I couldn't imagine. I mean, just seeing like being a buyer and seeing like the actual agent's like work product. I'm like, man, like doing that for 10 artists seems like it makes my head spin sometimes. I'm like, I don't know how they do it. I mean, and I get it. There's a lot of tools out there, but man, it's just like I'd
it's
much
tools.
rather I'd much rather deal with the artist,
It's
than
also
deal with
for
all the
me,
talent
I think
buyers.
it's for me, I think it's allocating time where
Mm,
instead of looking at the overall calendar with all the artists, like filter it down to one artist and it's like, hey, for these next 2 3 hours, like this artist, and then the 2 3 hours after that, that artist, and that's the only way to do it. Otherwise, I'm just staring at a calendar with everything on there, and then it's just too much coming at me
yeah, yeah.
to try to narrow it
No,
down.
yeah.
But hey, man, I don't know what we can and can talk about, so let's tread lightly. But I mentioned you've been in the news a little bit lately, so I guess your work at ATG landed you a pretty coveted role.
Yeah, yeah. Through us, I've been with ATG for a while, and then yeah, had a couple conversations pop up, and wound up over at the Kennedy Center in the early part of December, and yeah, and then I guess it was abrupt to the news cycle because I resigned a couple weeks ago, and man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, I did not think it was as newsworthy as what it came out to be. So
Yeah,
I'm just like, I don't know what's so interesting about this.
I think it
But
was just because it was right after the um the renaming and then all the cancellations making news. So it was like, which I mean, it's shut down anyways for the next couple of years, right?
right, right. No, man, I mean it was I mean, first off, I mean, it's the National Arts and Cultural Institute. I mean, it's like,
Right.
the crown jewel of the PACs, you got the government visibility. I mean every single decision in the SVP role there, I mean, it has a 360-degree implication. You know what I mean? Like every artist you're looking at, every show you're looking at, it all has like reciprocal effects. And it was an incredible opportunity to get in there and meet them, and doing that, I'll tell you what, like some of my takeaways were was like the institutional programming at that level. I mean, that building has 5 rooms. I mean, you have the opera house, you have the concert hall, Eisenhower, and then two small, so five. And then there's a speakeasy venue that's up on the terrace level. I mean, there's a lot of venues inside of that one building. So I think what like the cadence I was starting to realize like is this institutional programming like it was teaching like it teaches you automatic patience, whereas like programming in the commercial sense and like the for-profit sense, it teaches you a lot more about, I guess, conviction. I guess, you're analyzing risk and things like that. Whereas like with an institution like Kennedy Center, I mean, there's donors involved, there's board members, you got the national profile, all the different departments. There's a lot more levers to pull institutionally versus like a commercial, tour, So it was definitely a learning experience. All the above, basically.
Yeah. Well, dude,
You know.
what's next for you, man? And I'm glad that it was a learning experience, and then you move on, and then what comes next? Is it focusing on more clients, or just the ATG thing, or what's?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I mean, I landed back at ATG. I couldn't be more stoked about that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
ATG, the department that I was in, we call it MCE. It's music and comedy and other events is what the MCE is. I mean, we like our team like built the music and comedy touring throughout our venues, portfolio of venues. So I'm excited to be back at ATG and like continue building what we started. We got some incredible rooms, and they're all beautiful historic theaters. So that's immediately like what I've gone back to. I am super stoked about signing Joe Stam. That's what I get to sink my teeth into. When I'm ending the day at ATG, I'll start working on some Joe
Are
Stam
you coming
stuff.
out
And
to
um,
Nashville?
heck yeah, I'm gonna be out there at Exit
Hell
In
yeah!
on March
Yeah,
5.
we got a cool pool hall we can
Um,
take you to.
Now we got Joe Stam. Was it March 4th or March 5th?
5, March
5
5. Yeah.
Thursday at Exit In. So
Okay.
come on out.
Yeah.
Everybody come
Yep.
out.
Come
Come
out.
on out. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be out there for that. Joe's interesting, man. I don't know if I told you, but like I found Joe like during a golf tournament, and he was on a Spotify playlist, and I'm like, I heard that song Territory Town. I'm like, damn, that was a really
Hmm.
good song. And I start going on Roster and Polestar. I'm like, man, all right, who's his
No,
label? I'm
no
like
business,
trying to
like
just
no
get
professional business, just organic.
all organic. And then like we get I cold call the guy. I said, hey, you don't know me, I don't know you, would love to talk. And I don't think any time in my career have I ever done that. Joe
Yeah.
Stam is the first time I've ever been like, what the hell, like I gotta hear your story. How you're not signed yet is beyond me, because I mean, I think I looked at that day, it was like 78,000 monthly listeners. I'm like, this is crazy. And then I dive into his business. I mean, he's got a rock solid fan club. He's peddling merch like nobody's business. And he's got loyal, dedicated fans, and that's the ride I'm most excited to take, is getting Joe out there, and getting also working with you and getting him into the next level. And that's exciting stuff.
I agree, man. I was excited whenever I got the call to or email from you to take a meeting, and I was familiar with Joe. I'd put him on some support stuff. He'd done festivals over the years, and I knew that he had developed this real fan base, and he did it in a way that was real. Just the strategy was right, and it's what we always say, where it's like, hey, start in your hometown, build a 100-mile radius, then expand that radius. Once you can kill that 100-mile radius, then do 200 miles. And it just seemed to keep growing and growing and growing like that. And every band that I would have, like if we're hitting the Midwest, if it was Them Dirty Roses or whoever at WME or whatever, it was like, yeah, like Whitey, Morgan, like it was like, yeah, that guy, in the Midwest, that guy's worth tickets. That guy, like, add him. He's awesome. Like, we love playing with him. Nice guy. Just never heard a bad thing. And it reminded me of BJ Barham from American Aquarium, the way he built that business up where it was like merch driven, fan base driven, and answer to nobody as far as like a label or anything goes. And just really, really dug it. Plus the music's good.
Yep.
And that's ultimately what matters.
That matters a lot.
Man, that last record they put out, I mean, it's just, I mean, I listen to it probably one time, like at least once or twice a week. I mean, it is,
Yeah.
the songwriting on that is just absolutely, and then like you get like, you start doing a deep dive on like Joe personally, and like, then it just, you know, his wife is involved. I mean, they are like committed to this. He's had the same freaking band members for like a decade. It's crazy. I mean, you just start peeling back the layers on that onion, and it's just like, all right, this gets more interesting every single day, you know?
Yeah.
And his songwriting is just, he's starting to work on a new record, and I heard some of the demos, and oh my gosh, I'm just like, this is incredible.
Well, shoot those my way as soon as you can.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have him
shoot those your way. Yeah.
We're gonna have him on here one day. I mentioned it to him, so once we can time it up perfect and get him on here, maybe we can play a couple for us.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, man, it's been a
sick.
pleasure working with you. Look forward to more, and I appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you for taking the time.
Yep. Thanks for having me. I'll appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, Kevin. Kevin Couch, man.
Yeah, man.
That's cool.
So we had a little bit of technical difficulties. I don't know what it was, but the audio was only coming out of one of our headphones.
Yeah.
So that's why Bryan didn't say a whole lot. He picked up where he could, but it was a good interview, man.
Yeah.
He went through the rundown, and you'll listen to it, of his story. But y'all talked before we went on the air.
Yeah. No, he's dude. I like, you know, what did you say? He's coming like March 5th. Is that right?
Yeah, Joe Stam is playing
Exit In.
with
Yeah,
Casey Johns.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there.
What day is that?
It's a Thursday.
I can do Thursdays.
You can do Thursdays.
Even on a school night, Josh, I'll go with you. No, it's cool, man. I like talking to people like that, man, because like I think it gives you an insight of, you know, this is where I was, this is where I'm going, kind of like that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, you know, especially in the music industry, there's so many things you can do. You don't have to just be an artist. You know what I mean? Like, if, you know, I think it goes to show, man, hey, one thing might not work, but other things can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that gives you hope. Like,
there's multiple paths.
Yeah.
You know, if it doesn't work out on the musician side, there's other roles in this industry and that are important. And that's just what it was meant to be for you. Or, you know, you're like me and you sucked at fucking playing, but you love this industry. There's paths out there to.
Dude, you're not bad. I mean, I've heard the songs you've recorded.
Oh yeah. Well, I had that one hit in me.
Yeah, you're a one-hit wonder, dude. No, man, I think it's good. Dude, I think it's crazy. This is episode 12. Is that right?
Episode 12. I think I'm going to change release date. I don't want to say when right now. I'll announce it on the socials, but we've been releasing on Thursdays.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to push that back until like Monday or Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And the reason is if I release it in the afternoon, one of those days, it gives the Patreon more time with the exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if I release in the evening, we can interact more with y'all and, you know, on the YouTube premiere, on Discord, whatever. If we do it at 7:00 or so, we can actually, you know, be there online with you guys and discuss the episode. And I just think it'll be beneficial.
Well, speaking of episodes, we got a good one next week. Can we talk about it yet, or just we'll wait?
Yeah. Drew Eads is supposed to come on. Yeah, from Unbroken Music Festival. He's going to. The lineup will probably be out by the time the episode comes out, but we'll break down the lineup with him.
I'm excited. I've seen the lineup, and it's pretty freaking good, dude. It's good. I'm excited to, and also maybe we'll be there. maybe we'll
Yeah, we're gonna try to show
on Saturday.
on the Saturday. We're gonna do what we can to show up in September and be backstage and record some interviews with some of the guests live and in person.
Yes, sir. That'll be a good time.
For and then do like an episode revolving around that festival and multiple interviews.
Yeah, dude, it'd be cool. We'll do videos. We'll
have a bottle of Jaeger on the table.
I'm not drinking Jaeger with you ever again.
Oh,
also, we should get just like a videographer just to follow us around, and we'll put up some content and stuff. And
yeah,
it'd be a good time. No, Josh, we're not playing. No. All right, we're gonna have to change that. Anyways, hey, thank you guys for tuning in to After Loadout here in the Brookstone studio, brought to you by Georgia Fire Hot Sauce, the Wallet Drum Key, and Fire Agency. Yeah, okay, yeah, Signal Fire Agency. We'll see you guys next week for episode 13.
Make 'em say,